Yellow, yellow, yellow. Let's see if it actually worked. Hey, my mic is on. Let's go. Hi, Mari. How we doing? I started a stream, and now it's really loud. I turned my mic all the way up because it was really quiet, and I couldn't figure out why, and then I realized my mic was completely disconnected. For some reason, my computer didn't want to talk to my microphone, but here we are. Welcome back, Infinity. How you doing? Mari, hello, hello, hello. Right back at you. Mr. Tenna DR, hello! Good to see you. I think I remember seeing you on one of my shorts recently. Welcome to the live stream. How you doing? Mari says, I just finished designing a crab spaceship. It's good to be here. Wow. Like a spaceship for a crab? A spaceship shaped like a crab? A spaceship shaped like a crab for a crab? I'm very curious. What does that mean exactly? How's the audio, everyone? I did not. I just made sure it worked. I didn't check the quality. I'm seeing it peek into the red all of the time, and I'm like quite a ways away from the mic. Maybe that's better. Infinity says, I have 10 berries left before I have full cleared every level of the expert lobby of strawberry jam. Dang. Mr. Tenna DR says, yep, I'm good. Heck yeah, good to hear. Says, I'm bored, so I'm just here. That's valid. We are full of random, chaotic, fun facts. And jump scaring sound alerts, even though I changed the audio for that one. Hi, Infinity. There you go. You got it to work this time. It's chaos. Mari says it has laser eyes? Heck yeah. I mean, why wouldn't it have laser eyes? I want laser eyes. It sounds like the goat. The goat and Jeremy both had laser eyes, right? Honestly, guys, I have spent so much energy this weekend just doing housework. And I got up at 6:30 a.m. and I'm really just wanting chill vibes. And I have some nail polish to go through, so I thought we could do that as today's stream and just have it chill and chatty and hang out. Bruh. Chill and chatty. Jay is here. Hello, everyone. Hello, Jay. Welcome to the stream. Mr. Tennis says, was that Kirby? Yes, indeed it was. There's supposed to be a little pop-up of Kirby right around here. And it's supposed to be Kirby going, hi, like in Super Smash Brothers. But unfortunately, the visual aspects of sound alerts are not working for me. So we're working with Scuff Stream. But as they say, Scuff Stream's best streams. Am I right? Schiller says you better bought some discounted chocolate. I want to. There was so much discounted chocolate, but none of it was my kind of discounted chocolate, so sad. I do. Hold up, you guys. I do have full price chocolate ice cream that's dairy free though. So, I mean, you win some, you lose some? I dropped this fork, I was eating it, but still I can't. Patch. I know. Good to see you, Schiller. How you doing? Infinity says I also have over 1,000.2 videos right now. Oh my gosh. Infinity says no one redeemed that time. Yeah, it's the echo. It's the echo. How are we doing, everyone? What are we up to? What is your Sunday evening turning out like? How was your weekend? Did you do anything fun? Did anybody celebrate Valentine's or Galentines or Brotines? I don't know that that's a thing. My favorite holiday, as Schiller pointed out, is Discounted Chocolate Day, which is February 15th. November 1st, December 26th. Oh, and the day after Easter. All of these are discounted chocolate days because it's following a holiday that usually has a lot of chocolates. And if you wait until after the holiday, you get a lot of cheap chocolate compared to, you know, paying full price. Jay says it's been a weird week. Aw, how so? Ugh, Pardon the shake of the camera. Oh my gosh! Ugh, that was really loud. I'm dropping everything. Don't worry. It's fine. I have everything under control. Here's the first bin to go through. I figure we just kind of go through it one bin at a time or something. I don't know. Tossing my camera in the laundry. I'm sure that'll be a good decision later on. Marius is learning how to use Photoshop. Ooh, have fun. That was absolutely a dreadful class for me, like, learning curve-wise, but once you get it, it's kind of fun. I ended up making a cereal box with my design abilities in Photoshop. I weirdly enough prefer Canva, so I don't know. To each their own, right? Jace has spent Valentine's at D&D, but our DM quit. No, so they have to find a new one. That's frustrating. I'm glad you were able to spend it with friends, though. Okay. As we chat, I'm just gonna randomly be distracted by nail polish colors and tools. So we're gonna have a nice back and forth between chat and nail polish colors. I'm also wondering, like, what is the best way to organize these colors? Because we have all the colors of the rainbow and then some. And I'm just wondering, like, should I do rainbow? That feels like the most natural progression of colors, but then the most commonly used colors would be towards the bottom, which feels less functional, so I don't know. I don't know. Jay says, the DM was there for 2 years. Dang. Infinity says, stream idea. Have a dead pixel show up in a time between 10 seconds and 1 minute. What do you mean by that? What would the dead pixel... Would that just be like a glitch? Like a black hole or green something? Infinity says, so every 10 seconds to 1 minute. Oh my gosh. We already have enough trouble with, like, the timed messages from Streamlabs, which, by the way, do we have Streamlabs even working? I think we do, because that one hello got actually used, so at least that's functioning. Mari says, ooh, colors, ooh, shapes, ooh, shiny things. Yeah. We've got some interesting... Ooh, scented when dry. Be full YouTuber here. It's a nice... Honestly, I don't like this color. It's like if gold and green had a baby. It's kind of like if Willow's plant track and Ida's potions track uniforms got washed together, and then we had this. I don't really like it, to be honest. Jay says it'll probably be fine, though. You'll figure it out. Your group will persevere. My current group is the result of a long time DM, no longer doing stuff. And our current DM is really cool, so who knows? Maybe it'll be the start of something really cool, even if it had to start with something kind of rough. Mari says, oh, I've been watching She-Ra. I got it on DVD before they removed it from Netflix. It's only seasons 1 through 3, though. That's frustrating. I'm wondering how to ethically tell you guys that I might have a way to bootleg it for you guys. Hypothetically, of course. I would never bootleg shows. That is not a legal thing to do, so I would definitely not do that because I am a law-abiding citizen. In other news, I accidentally stole from Michael's yesterday. I was buying stuff and then I left the store and I was putting stuff away and I checked my receipt to see how much the things cost and I only saw 2 items, but I was putting away 3 and I was like, so I walked back in and I paid for it and they're like, why did you come back to pay for it? And I'm like, because I don't want to be a thief. So, Mr. Tenna Doctor, I have a question or 3 for you. Number 1, what is your preferred nickname on here? Because reading out your entire name, I am definitely going to butcher it. So we have nicknames for everybody. Mari, of course, is Mari. Blue Jay Bard Music is, of course, Jay. Infinity C2859 is, of course, Infinity. And we have other people as well, but do you want me to call you Tenna? Do you want me to call you Doctor? Which leads me into my second question once you answered that first one. Are you a Doctor Who fan? Because I keep on misreading your name, your username, as Mr. Tennant Doctor. And I think of David Tennant, the 10th Doctor, and also the 15th, technically. And it makes me smile. And I want to know if that was intentional or if I'm just too much of a Whovian. Not that there's too much of a fan. I'm curious. Mari says, SMH, give Michael his stuff back. ShadowTalon, I'm other people as well. Hi, Shadow, how are you? Good to see you. Mr. Tenna DR, first, it's not Doctor, it's Deltarune. Second, it's Tenna. Thank you for the clarification. Also, Deltarune is very cool. We got a couple of people in the community who like Deltarune. Relaxing, hello, welcome to the stream. You say, hi, sorry I was late. I woke up early but fell asleep so many times again. I'm glad you got rest. No worries. Rest is important. Infinity says, can you play It's TV Time? Probably not. I am not in the mood for testing different audio like Spotify stuff. Oh, this is gross. That's an easy toss. Yeah, I really need like chill music right now, and I know your taste well enough to know that most of the stuff you suggest is not going to be for my state of mind right now. From Deltarune. Oh, that is a compelling argument though. It is a compelling argument. If it's cozy, I might consider it. I usually try to give in to some of the suggestions, but today I am so tired and so... I don't even know. I just want to take a nap, honestly. But I also want to hang out with you guys, so... Jay says, have y'all seen the new Owl House graphic novel? I've heard about it. I've not seen it, but I've heard about it, and I think it's really cool. I think a lot of people are clickbaiting people and saying the Owl House is back. No. Content is back. I get why they're doing it. It's the most efficient way to get people to their video, and using search engine optimization allows them to do that, but also it makes your heart think that the show is coming back, and it's just not. Mari says, Tenna is from Deltarune, and I don't believe ever received a medical license, so that version of DR makes sense. That does. Relaxing says, I'm switching jobs in a few days. Ooh, I hope it's to a better job. I know you really hate your current one, so I'm tentatively excited for you. Infinity, Mari says, if you play it, Sebastian Wolf will snipe us, though. Infinity says it's TV time is tennis theme, I believe. I love the energy. I love the collaboration. I'm gonna honor it. I think you guys are really cool in how you guys advocate for each other in your nerdy ways. It's TV time. By Toby Fox or by Luke Pickman? I think it has to be by Toby Fox, because that's more familiar. But it's TV time by Luke Pickman, says literally from Deltarune. So it has me. Alright, we're adding it to the queue. I don't know. There it is. Adding it to the queue. It should be the next one to play. Screw it, let's just play it right now. Oh, it's not a chicken. Okay. I thought that was a chicken, not gonna lie. It's giving Sonic vibes. I could have a meltdown over not knowing how to do a spinny spin with Sonic, as I tended to do in my younger days until my siblings figured out to just not hand me a remote that's connected to the screen, because I would absolutely believe them that I was controlling the characters when they were doing it. I was very gullible. I still am. Tennis says it's TV time. Shadow says, hoot hoot! Yes! Toby Fox is the creator of Deltarune. Cool. I knew it was familiar, I just didn't know why. What is it? So, you guys know that I used to be an in-class tutor. One of the sayings my mentor teacher says is, this is a benevolent dictatorship. And he says that in the sense that, you know, like, what he says is law, but occasionally, if he's feeling benevolent, he'll let students impact how it goes. I feel like that's kind of how I run this. I'm a benevolent dictatorship. These streams, you know, ultimately, I'm in charge of what happens. And if I don't want to do something, I'm the one doing the stream. But I'm a benevolent dictator, and I will let you guys choose sometimes. Relaxing says, I have a cold. It's hard to breathe at night. I breathe with my mouth. Oof, mouth breathing is so annoying when you're sick. I hope you feel better soon. That sucks. Shadow says, classic big siblings move, the unplugged remote. Definitely did that once or twice. Honestly, looking back, I can't even be mad at them. Because, straight up, I was not emotionally regulated enough. We're just playing the same song twice. That's okay. Well, that's alright then. Can I add this to the queue? No, I can't. Oh, I can. Haha. Yeah. Anywho, it's always worth asking if we can do something. I may decide to just do what I planned anyways, because we have a curriculum, aka I'm only prepared to do so many things. But sometimes, we'll do the thing. I just got jump scared by hair. I just got jump scared by my own missing grip strength. Yay! Alright. Favorite organization strategy. we have everything equal at 20%. Color-coded, if it fits, it sits. I see all, I know all. However, at 40%, one reigns supreme over all of them. You might say that one is the supreme benevolent dictator, and that is Chaos Incarnate, which honestly tracks for this stream. If you're confused about those categories, and just say if it's too loud to hear me over the music. Oh, bye Tenna, have good dinner, enjoy. Color-coded, self-explanatory. Everybody's seen Pinterest, I think. If it fits, it sits. Basically, if you cram it into a box and if it fits, it works. Chaos Incarnate is basically no organization strategy whatsoever. And then I see all, I know all is it looks really messy, but you know where everything is in the mess. Like, say I need a pen. There is a pen sitting at a 45-degree angle to the open door, not open door, to the closed door of my mini fridge. And that's if you want a black pen. If you want a colored pen, then at a 45-degree angle to that black pen is a pink marker. If you genuinely need a pen, though, I left all of them in the other room, so you'll have to go to that room. That's the idea of I see all, I know all. Infinity says, I sent a message to you. Good job. I dropped my phone. I will check it in a second. Yeah. You did send a message to me. Bruh. No. I'm banning you. I'm banning you. Get out of here. Mari says, I'm a benevolent dictator. Princess Celestia type statement. Who's Celestia? Relaxing says, in 3 months I'm gonna turn 20 and I still haven't reached my goal. Well, you got 3 months. Okay, out of all the colors, because I do kind of want to do my nails while we're organizing, I just want to figure out which color I want to go with, because that is a question. Like, what color do I want to see on my nails and go, aw, yay, I have that color on my nails? You know, it's a commitment. And not to say that I have commitment issues, but I don't like to choose, okay? Some people, you have to choose, and they choose, like chocolate versus vanilla ice cream. Other people, they look at chocolate and vanilla ice cream and they go, wow, I can't choose, I want chocolate and vanilla ice cream. Other people look at it and they go, I would rather salted pecan. And they go and order that, even though it wasn't the original 2 options, right? Me, I look at choices and then I cry. And that's probably why I'm Arrow Ace. What about you? Chocolate or vanilla ice cream? Let's make that the new poll. Start a poll. Which do you order? Chocolate ice cream? Vanilla ice cream. Start poll. No other options. Let's see if you guys can make a decision. Infinity. Red. Color of blood. Convincing. Compelling. Issue. How do I know when it's my blood versus my nails? You know, it's great when you want to hide blood, but if I kind of want to know when it's my own, you know? Just a thought. Infinity says, I think vanilla is better by itself, but they mix really well. Interesting. Are you talking about like the swirly cones? I don't know why I'm peeling it off when I have nail polish remover. Maurice's blood does taste good though. No, it tastes like iron. Iron's crunchy. In a bad way. Infinity says yellow, color of jaundice. What? How will I know if I'm jaundiced or not? Shadow says, it really depends on the day. Relaxing says, I love chocolate. That's fair, Shadow. Relaxing, yay! The first person to choose. Without acknowledging that both are their preferred. Infinity says, black, color of the endless void. Ah, but how will I know what's me and what's void? You know? I visit the void every Monday to bring cookies, right? So I can, you know, scream into the void. It's the payment plan that I have. You bring a dozen of cookies to the void, and then you get to scream into it for the rest of the week. So that's what I got going on. Maury says, I've tasted blood before, trust me. Gross. Infinity says white really makes the blood stains pop out. But I'm white. How will I know what's me versus my nails? Shadow says definitely blue, color of frostbite. How will I know what's me versus my bad circulation? We're going through all of them. I'm curious who will continue this bit with me. Ember says, sorry I'm a bit late, lol. Forgot stream was at 6, lol. Also, I choose chocolate ice cream every time. Welcome to the stream, no worries. It's at 6:30, and it was even later than that because my mic and computer were having relationship issues. I scheduled an appointment with the psychologist therapist, and you know, like, I scheduled them, I penciled them in for, couples therapy, and they agreed to, you know, have a working relationship at least for tonight. But it's really challenging when your computer and your mic don't want to talk to each other, you know? Relaxing set, Ember says, are we screwing into the void again? Nice. Infinity says, white or white, I mean. How will I know what's me versus Snow White? What if I visit the north? Shadow says, if you're worried about frostbite, then I really can't help you. Sure you can. Hand warmers. High fives. Relaxing says, I tasted my blood before, but the taste was not very appetizing, to be honest. I agree. It's don't consume blood. It's don't. Shadow says purple is no circulation, to be fair. Yeah, but it starts with blue and then it gets purple. Sometimes it gets white, like pale white. It's really weird. Maurice is white or white? The guy from Beaking Bradley? That, I feel my hair moving from how that thing skimmed right over my head as it went over my head. Infinity says, orange, color of the infection from Hollow Knight. Easy. How will I know the difference between orange nails and the balls that my dog picks from the orange tree? I'll look down and my dog will think my fingers are her ball, and then I won't have any fingers. You'd really do that to me, huh? What if you do landlord gray? How will I know the difference between my nails and random landlords? You know? Empress has got it. It does sound challenging when your mic and computer have relationship issues. Are we trying to decide nail paint colors? Yeah. So far, I've shot down every single one with ridiculous logic. It's a bit we have going. It tests my creativity and y'all's creativity at the same time. Finity says, landlord gray, color of depression. How will I tell the difference between my mental state and my nails? I'll look down, I'll be like, oh my gosh, my brain's oozing into my nails. That's wrong. Relaxing, Shadow says, perfect. Relaxing says, I didn't consume it much. I was accidentally injured my body and blood was leaking, so then I tasted it. Don't taste it! Ember says, what? What is this conversation even about? What have I stumbled into? Mari says, this is just some Mari Lude style back and forth. Yeah, pretty much. We've talked about consuming blood. We've talked about what colors symbolize and what should go on my nails and why I can't use any of the colors you guys suggest. We've also talked about how there's a person or character from Deltarune whose name is Tenna, but I thought it was David Tennant, the Doctor. And there was a little bit of confusion there. But that person went to eat dinner, and I hope they're enjoying their dinner. I wonder what they're eating for dinner. Is it like a Salisbury steak? That's what I always imagine when people say they're eating dinner. I don't know that I've had a Salisbury steak, though. What even is a Salisbury steak? I don't know. Maybe my nails should be Salisbury steak, because I've never come across it before. Shadow says, definitely periwinkle. Infinity says, pink and blue, colors of washing machine attack. Ember says, so, how excited is everyone about that new upcoming Owl House graphic novel? Heck yeah, Kieran's back. Welcome back, Kieran. You have come to a chaotic chat. Welcome, welcome. Mari says, don't forget hit show Baking Bradley and its protagonist, White or White. Oh, I get it now. I get it now. Boo. Boo. I'm teasing. Jay says, I'm very excited. Heck yeah, I'm very excited for it as well. But I think I'm just so chill and tired right now that I don't know. It's like how I haven't seen the second season of season 2. Wait. It's like I haven't seen the second season of Percy Jackson because in order to do that, I feel like I have to make like content about it, and only recently have I given up on making that sort of content, so like I don't know. Ember says, heck yeah, Jay, so am I. Can't wait for September. Infinity says, sad beige, cover of blank. Jay says, very, very tired. Also very tired. Mood, yeah. Mari says, why are you booing me? I'm right or right. Relaxing says, how do you wake up a friend without upsetting them? Honestly, I don't know. I usually just don't wake up a friend unless they ask me to, and then if they get upset because they asked me to, then bruh, you asked me. Otherwise, it's not my place to wake them up. Ember says, I am also very tired, but still excited. Heck yeah. I'm gonna see what this color foil is. The answer is curiosity. We're gonna put curiosity on my nails. Fascinating. This is very interesting color. It's very shiny and metallic. It's not quite rose gold. It's like a mix between... Hi! 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 There is the echo that I cannot get rid of. Hi! Breaking bread. Life be lifing, right? Lifing? I think life-ing. I don't know. Mari says, this conversation is really triggering my fight or flight. Well, I only have one advice for you. Never trigger the fight or flight reflex in a flightless bird. That's the only advice I have for you. Enjoy the ride. If you need to ground yourself, take a minute. Totally fine. Finity says, I feel like I've seen that color somewhere before. Maybe in your dreams. I have the weirdest, like, very visual... This topic has come up a lot in my life, so I'm proposing this to you guys, my community. To what degree do you guys think in pictures? Do you guys think in pictures at all? Like, can you visualize things? Because I can visualize... Like, Okay, so my room looks a certain way, but I don't want it to stay this way. I'd like to rearrange my room, right? I can visualize what this room will look like when it's remade with the proper, like, orientation and sizing and how it'll look when it's empty and how spacious it'll be without as much stuff. And, like, I can, like, my brain creates, like, fully detailed 3D renders in my brain for me to, like, experience. It's not a walkthrough. It's kind of like the Google Maps, like, you drop a character there and you have the street view and you just kind of, like, pick a spot and you transport to that spot and you only have that one angle and then you transport to another spot. That's what my brain does. But, like, right now, I can imagine what my room looks like in perfect detail from my door, even though I'm facing my door. I can imagine what my room will look like when I do the things. I can eyeball, like, where things will fit and stuff. I don't know. Yeah. Ember says, I can half visualize stuff. There's a word for those who can't do that at all, but I can't remember what it is. A something. Aphantasia. Yes. Relaxing says, I can visualize my life in imagination. I think, yes, I can visualize. I would imagine so, because you said you have maladaptive daydreaming, and I'd be curious to figure out, like, can people with maladaptive daydreaming, can y'all have that diagnosis and not think in pictures? Like, how does... I don't know. I wonder if it's connected at all to how you think. Infinity says, unknown. I do think in pictures, but I don't know how common they are compared to word thoughts, and thoughts that are neither, but I implicitly understand. Huh. Those are interesting ones. Mari says, this is really triggering my freeze response. I'm going to cause a polar front about it. I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Ember says, take care of yourself, Mari, but don't cause too much of a polar front. It'll be cold. I think that's why Mari's gonna cause a polar front. Did the cold ever bother you anyways, Mari? You've got a nice tail? Oh, I'm sorry. We have a nice matte Rise and Shine color. I'm sorry. How could I not know that this color is Rise and Shine? And why is it labeled as gold? What? That's what Nathan from Missouri deserves. Hey. What did Nathan ever do to you? Infinity says, I do have a game track I think you would like. That being Overgrown Castle from Celeste Strawberry Jam. Okay. Ember says, I don't know who Nathan from Missouri is, but okay. Aw. Who doesn't know Nathan from Missouri? It's like Jake from State Farm. Fun fact, I knew a Jake. And it was really fun seeing his transformation from "Stop calling me Jake from State Farm, it's not funny, guys," to literally making it a redeem on his channel. I don't know if he still streams, but he was on, like, Twitch and stuff. When I was in my Millie McBug phase, I actually did a few streams with Jake from State Farm. But now I'm in my Lily phase. Hi, Matt. Also, rise and shine. Rise and shine. Gold, color of money. Steak from Jake Farm? Oh my gosh. No. Ooh, sparkles. Relaxing says maladaptive dreaming with ADHD is worse because I only feel good when I'm scrolling and imagining. Ah. Ember says, yes, steak from Jake Farm. Shadow says, I think in a stream of words. Cannot mentally picture pictures. I grasp the vibe for what I'm trying to picture, but it takes so much focus to even bring an outline. But you do art so good. How do you know what to draw when you can't picture the art thing? How do you know what you're gonna draw when you don't even... Like, you can't see the art in your head before you paint it? But your art is, like, amazing. I still have the goat that you painted me up here. And the mushroom is over there. Oh, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous application of red. It'll be perfect for when I want to put all other fingers down. Just kidding. What are you wearing? Khakis. Yep. Shadow says, like, if I close my eyes, I know there's a nightstand to my right, but I cannot picture it. Wild. Infinity says, I believe I might think in every form. Yeah, I think in every form as well. But, like, when it comes to visualization, like, to what degree do you think visually? Like, not, like, ratio-wise to all of the others, but, like, can you visualize a 3D rendering? Or I guess 4D, because I can, like, progress things in time and backwards as well in my brain, which is really weird. Ember says, sparkle! Yes! Infinity says, depends on what all the different types are, though. Ember says, that is very pretty. No, Lily, don't do that hand gesture with the red nail. Infinity says, I am wearing the folds of a distant reality. Understandable. I think I broke Shadow. I think Shadow's trying to explain things. Mari says, I can close my eyes and visualize my room, but the version of my room I visualize is a couple months out of date. I haven't downloaded the latest patch yet. See, I can... Oh, this is goopy. This is just... I don't know if you can tell, but this just reminds me of the goop from Grom. We are not saving this nail polish. Nail polish, you have failed this collection. Ember says, oh, Mari, gotta get that update. It's great. I know, right? I guess with that version of perspective, I would say I have that update. I have the beta test update where I can zoom into the future or the past at will. Infinity says, I can also think in music a bit. Relaxing says, I miss old Super Mario. Yeah. Ember says, ew, nail polish. Ember says, ew. Jay says, Mari, I have the same thing, but it's when I try to remember people. That, yeah, that I relate to. I think that's part of my issues is with my sensory processing disorder. If I'm in the same space or I spend a lot of time thinking about the same thing, I have a lot more capacity to imagine it in its fullness But if I only interact with somebody for a short amount of time, or I don't put forth a lot of my brain power, I just cannot, for the life of me, remember who they are or what they look like or what their name is. But, like, I am capable of doing that. I know that because I put forth a lot of effort to memorize all of my coworkers' names and their faces and the pattern of their walking. And also, there's anywhere from 12 to 25 students in a given class, and I would volunteer in about 4 of them throughout the week. And I memorized every single student's face, their name, their attitude, their vocal patterns, their like study habits based on what they would say and what level they were at in the class, just based off of like how confident they were and how they were answering things and whether they got called on or not, how they interacted with other people, things that were important to them based off of their answers, stuff like that. So like, I have a really good memory when I work hard at it. I also can replay any episode of The Owl House and I can mentally recall with fairly good accuracy most of Percy Jackson and the Olympians, all of the books in that series, and Heroes of Olympus, as well as most of the Bible. Like if somebody says something, I can find where it is in the books, right? I don't know. So I have a good memory. It's just like, have I put forth the effort to like solidify it into a 3D, 4D concept or not? Shadow says, yeah, no, all I see is black, but I know the concept of what I'm thinking. I just tried to visualize my coffee pot, but all I got were the words coffee pot, like a mixing texture message. I love that explanation. You said coffee pot, and I immediately pictured a coffee pot. I think it's the Keurig brand, but honestly, I don't know all of the brands, so I don't really know, but it's one of those like stainless steel fronts. It's got a black plastic top with those like half circle lid flippy things. If you open it up, I'm imagining this, it has like a very, I would hate to wash the lid, but I'm glad that I don't have to because it's attached to the whole thing and you don't want to wash the whole thing. But like the texture, if you like miss it, then you like slam your hand against the texture and it's a horrible texture because of all the grooves and stuff. And then inside, the filter is like this mesh and it smells, it reeks of coffee. There's like, what is it, 12, 16 ounces, I think, in the coffee pot. It has one of those black plastic handles with the seam around the, I don't know what shape it is word-wise, but it's like a rounded, that shape. It's rounded. And then down the center, it's like the 2 pieces are like this for the actual handle, which means you can feel the seam on your hand. And depending on how full the coffee pot is, it's either very uncomfortable or just like normal. And then the coffee I actually pictured is like this dark, rich, almost black color. And it's got some reflection, but the coffee pot itself is kind of stained. So even though it's like 2/3 of the way empty, it's at about, I want to say 5 ounces left. You know, it's not like perfectly clear for the rest of it because the coffee has stained the glass, even though it's glass and it's not supposed to stain, which is probably why it reeks of coffee. And then the bottom, if you like take out that coffee pot, the bottom is just like covered in stains, because I'm imagining it works like my mom's tea maker, where it just randomly like drips coffee and tea. So it's got like a weird stain sort of pattern to the bottom, but that like burner thing that keeps it hot, it's got a circular pattern, like a disc on a record player. Like a record has those grooves in a circle, or a tree has circles. That's what the burner has. And then to the right, you have a little spot for hot water, and you can put your cup in there, and I could keep on going on. I don't drink coffee. But I imagined all of that when you said coffee, and I could keep on going, but I feel like I've made my point. Mari says, I can wake up in the midst of night and see creatures looming over me. I think that was added in a recent update. Oof. I don't have the update where you have the night terrors, but that is rough. I have a couple of friends who had that update. I think it's a malware virus. You might have to do some like, yeah, sometimes when they ran like a certain like antiviral like supplement, it made their dreams really vivid, and then they had those monsters. Infinity says, imagine the words coffee pot arranged into ASCII art of a coffee pot. I don't know what that is, but I'm imagining like COFFE really scrunched into the pot, and then the last E is kind of like making up the last bit, and that the top and the bottom of the E kind of make the handle, I guess. Relaxing says, I really didn't have any memory. I didn't know what happened in my childhood and teenage years. Oof. Mari says, I don't drink coffee, so I can't picture a coffee pot because I don't see them often enough to know what they look like. Infinity says, this talk of coffee has placed Godot's theme in my mind. Mood. Shadow says, like, I know what things should look like, but I don't actually picture it. I can visualize exactly what you're describing, but the concept of what you're saying, not a picture. Weird. Amber says, thank you for the TED Talk. Infinity says, imagine the creature bending to your will. Amber says, Lily, I think you broke Shadow again, like you said before. Infinity says, ASCII is art made up of keyboard characters. Oh, okay. So like, COFFEE, and that's like one line, and then you just do coffee over and over and over again in the shape of a coffee pot. It takes a little bit of time because I'm like loading that fact. Like I have a little bit of lag because I'm listening and I see the music visually in the gaming audio output thing in my mixer. And, ooh, I wanted to get a Stream Deck today, but I didn't because it was like $129, and I could just wait for my birthday. So that's what I'm doing, y'all. But I'm excited for getting my Stream Deck, hopefully. Should we play a game where, oh, by the way, chocolate ice cream won to resolve that poll. Do we play a game where I just describe things in detail? I don't know. I'll put a question poll. Have me describe things to you off of one word. Relaxing says, when's your birthday? That is another rule. You are putting out so many good things to put in a, like, ND Lily community rules video. We don't share age or birth dates in chat or in this community at all, really, because that can be used against you online, and I don't like, so many things are dependent on people knowing how old you are or what your birth date is and what your full legal name is, and you don't want to, like, I don't know. I had a reason, but I'm distracted by like 5 different things. Basically, we don't share for safety reasons. But whenever I'm asked, I will share the answer I do give. That's February 30th. So, you know, it's coming up never. because if you are unfamiliar with how calendars work, February ends at the latest every 4 years on the 29th, so you never get a February 30th. It's my favorite date to explain in class when we go over dates. Okay. Shadow says, look, you try explaining the concept of blue to someone who's completely blind. That's basically what I'm trying to do. Ooh, okay, so blue is this sense that you get when somebody gives you a tight hug and you just exhale. That, like, that feeling of safety is the color of the sky when the sun is warm and there's no darkness clouding the sky. There's no coolness. It's just bright and, you know, like, it is... Blue is the taste of... I'm gonna get really controversial here. Dasani water with ice cubes. And I mean the little, like, the little ones that are really tiny and you, like, crush up in your mouth. Not the big chunks, the little ones. Shadow says, but a hug is more of a yellow for me. Well, yes, but blue is specifically the exhale when you hug someone. The hug, I would say, is definitely, like, a rich golden yellow. And I'm also getting, like, orangey pink themes to it, but like that exhale when you hug someone and you feel safe, that's what light blue is. Shadow says blue is the math color and anyone can fight me on that. I will fight you. It's red. It's red because of all the blood and tears I shed doing it, okay? Ember says, ew, Dasani water. Infinity says light, wavelengths, similar to vibrations, but with electromagnetism. Different colors like different vibrations. Too bright is similar to too strong vibrations. Yeah. Blue is the feeling you get when you're in water in a pool and you can feel the water pressing gently against your palms when you, like, move your hands in the water. But not the same color as when the tides crash against you at the ocean. That's a different shade of blue. That's kind of like a harsh, dark blue. And that dark blue is the sense of just weightiness when somebody tells you something really sad or really hard. And you just feel like this, it hurts you in the soul. Like, the end of season 1 for the Owl House, well, the second to last episode of season 1 in the Owl House, right? That feeling when Luce walks home, that's dark blue. Blue is when you're dabba-dee, dabba-die. Shadow says purple is art. That I can agree with. Ember said earlier, aw, yay, another streamer I watch has a stream deck and it's fun. Yeah! Also, describe Rain. Rain is a really formidable character who is head something of the Bard Coven in the Owl House. They are really, really powerful. They have a fox violin talisman. They are a really compelling character, and I love them. Oh, you meant rain as in water falling. Shadow says, I guess that means you're immortal. Mwahaha. Red is science, yellow is English, green is social studies. No! No! Red is math. Blue is... Hold up. green is science because green is growth and that's science, right? Blue is history, red is math, orange is logic, yellow is literature. So I think we can agree on yellow at least. Yellow and purple, we agree. Relaxing says, I think blue depends on where it is. Like, if it's sky, it's blue, but peace for me, it relaxes me. That's fair. Ember says, I thought about how you can describe rain like a shower, but from the sky and only outside. That's all I've got. Shadow says, fun fact, did you know that the color orange was named after the fruit? Yeah! Ember says, no, not that rain, like rain from the weather, but rain from the Owl House is great too, love them. Infinity says, light waves bounce off surfaces like sound bounces around a cave. Sight is like being able to precisely process the entire soundscape of a wide area at once. Am I good at making sight sound like eldritch horror? For a while, I tried to... There was a time in my life where I actively tried... Ooh... Mermaid Charade. That's a pretty color. It shifts from that purple to the blue. Yeah, I thought I could learn how to do echolocation. But I wasn't committed enough. And so now I just vaguely have the sense of being able to tell when something is a different, like, density. But I can't, like, close my eyes and make my way around town. So, you know, Sag. Part of that could be due to the brain damage. When I had 3 concussions in 1 year back in 2018, I lost my capacity for balance. I had to go through a lot of years of physical therapy and medication and stuff to get it back. And then I had another concussion in 2021 that wasn't diagnosed for a while, so I had more damage from that. And, you're supposed to get it treated as soon as possible to avoid damage, like severe damage. Anyways, all that to say, probably broke my own guidelines. Sorry, guys. My balance is messed up. I've had to fight hard to have balance again. Mari says, Rurfib or Fibrir? That sounds like Fenrir. Like the Doomsday Wolf from Norse mythology. Relaxing says, I'm currently half sleeping. My eyes are closed, but my ear is attending live stream. Well, I hope you're able to get some good rest soon. And if you fall asleep, even better. I love a good stream that you can fall asleep to. That is what the lurk emote says. Jay says, hey, hey! We're talking about explaining colors in words to blind people. Like, completely blind people. None of that 90% of blind people have some remaining vision. We're going full stereotype here. Infinity says, sight allows you to process the thousands of pixels on the screen. Think of each pixel as a source of sound, as one singular image. Jay says, sorry, I was going to remind you of the guideline thing. Thank you for the reminder, even if the lag and stuff makes it a little difficult. Insta dry pride. Hello. Yeah, if I or somebody else, if you think you might be eligible for calling somebody out, no, if I end up talking about things that break community guidelines or somebody else does, you're all welcome to be like, hey, isn't that breaking guidelines? Or, you know, isn't that against the rules? And I very much appreciate it, because literally so much of my life is health related. That's why we have that rule, because I don't usually know good boundaries with that, and so just having the rule is important for me to make this a safe space. Well, safer. This is a lot of paint for one nail. Infinity says, blind as in had eyes removed at birth for some reason. Or, you know, just born without eyes. We're gonna go with... no. I was gonna go with that pink, but then it said gel-like, and I don't want to deal with gel. Okay, I've played with the colors. I think I want to go in a gradient and have all of the solid colors that aren't fancy colors go on top, because that just makes sense for some reason. And then the second drawer will be all the fun colors and fun, like you see these sparkles. We'll have that in the second drawer. And then I'll adjust it as I find other colors. So with that being said, this is too sparkly, but this is matte. This is too sparkly, but this is also matte. There's a lot of mattes. Say hi to Matt. It's short for Bartholomew. This is sparkly. I don't know if this is sparkly. I'm gonna call it sparkly. Infinity says, have you ever thought of how much light-related information your brain is processing at once? Yes. Absolutely. I have a lot of information related to Mari's comment. Anyone else hold back from info dumping a lot of the time? Yes. So often. There is a constant stream of... I think this is where my wild imagination comes in handy. I get to imagine parts of my brain info dumping to other parts of my brain, so I get it out of my system in a way, but then it means that I'm not fully listening to the person, so then I have a mask in place so I can follow that mask. Anyways, you're welcome to info dump about facts if you would like. If you needed that reminder, you're welcome to. Jay says, yes, lol. You are in good company, unfortunately. There's a lot of info dumpers here. I have the relationship with at least 3 different people that, basically, we don't keep in touch. We keep in info dumps where we'll go for long periods of time without talking, and then we'll just break the silence with an info dump. And that works for those relationships. Although I do have to say, sometimes when I'm overstimulated, I've had to set, like, a boundary with myself, like, just because I'm not open to a notification right now doesn't mean that I need to, like, communicate I'm not, because 90% of the time I just need to eat something. I don't know. This is weird. I don't know. Infinity says, also, don't worry, even people with sight can only see a very tiny portion of the light spectrum. Yeah! I want to be like a shrimp and see 16 more colors. Although, I don't know that I would tolerate that well, so maybe it's a good thing I'm not a shrimp. Who's thankful I'm not a shrimp right now? Oh, I had shrimp for breakfast. I would be cannibalizing if I were a shrimp. Relaxing says, are you like this in real life? Always happy, smiling, and not negative at all? No, I am a Debbie Downer, and I honestly look like I hate the world and everyone in it most of the time. And I'm not chatty or cheerful because I'm in a lot of pain most of the time. And I'm really overwhelmed in social situations. And if I'm in a social situation, it takes a lot of effort to present as if I'm enjoying myself. Even if I am enjoying myself, it still takes a lot of effort to do that. These streams take a lot of energy out of me because it's just not my MO to be cheerful and happy for whatever reason. This is very much an act most of the time because I don't know. It hurts to move my face. It hurts to have light shining at me. I would be happiest in a dark room with much lower audio and not keeping track of a bunch of things. But I really love this community and I love hanging out with you guys. And it brings me so much joy, and I'm so... Even when I feel really, really crappy, and the initiative required, or the inertia required to get going and do something, even when that is really, really costly, it's always worth it. Even if it doesn't end up the way that I wanted to, it is always worth it to show up. So, no. I am almost never happy, smiling, and not negative. I tend to fixate on negative things. I have anxiety and depression and chronic pain, and my joints hurt. My back hurts. So much hurts right now, but it's important to have a balance. And here is where I try to establish a balance. I kind of think of it as like, you know, technically it's a lie because I'm not communicating authentically how I feel internally, but I also think of it as like a different language, because most people, even neurodivergent people, have learned that neurotypical way of communicating emotions. Like, oh, if you smile, you must be happy, and if you cry, you must be sad. And so I translate what I'm feeling inside, or what I want to communicate. I choose what I want to communicate to people, and I translate it in a way that makes sense to the most amount of people. So that's why I mask most of the time. Also, it's really great for survival instincts and, you know, getting along in society and my marketability as a person in the workforce and all of that. Yeah. Inertia is the description of resistance to change in motion. So you would actually need less inertia in that case. Thank you. I always mix those up. But wait, hold up. Resistance to changes in motion. No, you're right. Okay. I just had to load for a minute. This is definitely opaque. Mari says there are these two characters in Transformers, Rumble and Frenzy. They are recolors of each other, same body, different detailing thing. Is between their appearances in the cartoon, the comic, and their toy. Their color schemes and names are switched. Interesting. Which colors are they? Ember says, two halves of the same whole, even if one of that whole feels bad. Also, a balance is good to find. Yeah. Relaxing says, yeah, I'm good at faking that I'm good when I'm not with others. I challenge you and everybody else in stream, if your go-to is to pretend that you're fine when you're not, be vulnerable in a tiny way with somebody this week. Just be like, you know, I'm not doing great. Or, you know, I can't stop thinking about this fact I learned. Can I share it with you? You don't have to say when you learn the fact. That's a fun hack I've learned. Mari says, this led to some fandom infighting of which name should go to which color scheme, with people stating Rumble is red, Frenzy is blue, or Rurfib. Oh, versus Frenzy is red, Rumble is blue, or Furib. Talking about colors flipped that fun fact switch in my head. Thank you for sharing that, because that is genuinely interesting. We love it when people share fun facts. What if I just, like, let go of all the rules and I just started talking about taxes and doxed myself? What's the probability of finding somebody who's really passionate about taxes just doing my taxes for me? Probably low, right? Relaxing says, I feel vulnerable with one YouTube girl I like. I knew her in deep level, but she's live sometimes, sometimes not. That sounds like a really, chat, help me out here. What is the term? Not platonic, not placebo. When you relate really strongly to somebody on the internet despite not knowing them actually, because, yeah. Ember says, no, don't talk about taxes. You could talk about fake taxes, I guess. Aw, but fake taxes are no fun. No, but it's really easy, especially on the internet, to feel like you connect with somebody and you're best friends with them because you can spend so much time watching their content and quote-unquote hanging out with them, and maybe you do hang out with them in a stream or something. Parasocial, yes. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Infinity and Ember. But that's a parasocial relationship where you're not actually relating to them on an actually genuine personal level. Seems like that would be a very taxing conversation. Yeah. Parasocial relationships, they're very complex. Basically, don't give in to the lie that you know someone when you really don't. It takes years to get to know people. Case in point, Shadow and I met one time, and it was amazing. But even though we'd been friends for like, how many years? 3 years beforehand, and chatted with each other sometimes on a daily basis for months up until that point, off and on, you know, meeting in person, there were so many aspects of ourselves that were different from how we presented online because of just online is a different context, and you can't really know somebody online. Like, that sounds really boomer and millennial of me to say, even though I'm a Gen Zer. I'm not saying that online friendships aren't real, but online friendships with content creators, unless you know them personally and spend a lot of time with them outside of the context of content creation, you don't actually know them. You're not actually really connected with them. And I know that can feel harsh, and maybe it is, and if so, I am sorry for delivering it harsh. My intention is not to cause harm. This is really watery. More so, parasocial relationships have a tendency to get really toxic. And I don't want somebody to fall into the trap of feeling abandonment when there's no abandonment. Ember says exactly. It is true, though, with content creators. Unless you're friends with said content creators, IRL or otherwise. Yeah. I would say that I was genuine friends with Shadow before we met. Because we hung out outside of streams and we got to know each other and, you know, we got to know each other's boundaries and preferences and stuff like that. Some people you get to know outside of that, but other people, especially random people on the internet, majority of you guys, I have a parasocial relationship with because we really only hang out on streams, and I have a version of myself that I present here that completely misses entire aspects of my actual personality in life. Relaxing says, here is no one I feel safe, so even though it's parasocial, maybe I feel safe with her. Here, I mean in real life. Gotcha. Well, here's to you finding spaces in real life that you feel safe in. Because, you know, high risk in real life, because they're right there, maybe social anxiety or whatever, but also high reward. Now, that being said, if the only way you can connect with people is online, doesn't mean that you can't connect with people online. Doesn't mean that you're just always stuck with parasocial relationships. That's not true. You can have genuinely deep and meaningful relationships with people purely online. But it's not something you can experience just from a stream or a collection of videos from someone. I feel like I'm a lot of people's discomfort streamer because I aim for the cozy and then we just talk about existential crises. That doesn't feel very comforting. Alright, we have gone with burgundy, golden yellow, sparkly red, teal and lighter teal, metallic magenta on this hand, and then a different kind of magenta, a different kind of metallic pink, but this is more like a dusty pink, a nice shimmery sea blue, a nice pale lilac purple, and then a really weird sea green. I'm gonna paint over that green. Relaxing says, I was thinking about moving to another state to find my community, but I don't have finances, so I'm stuck here. Yeah, that can suck. Ember says it's too early in the week for another existential crisis. It's just Sunday. Sunday fun day. Ooh, roseberry. I'm gonna see how this one works. Alright. I don't know if it's just thin, so it's like making a really pretty color over the color I painted it over or what, but I really like roseberry. It's a really pretty, like, deep pink. It almost looks red on camera, but it's like almost a burgundy pink, if that even makes sense. Gravity still works, by the way, guys. Okay. Let's see. What's another thing I can describe? Vaccine says, you're very enthusiastic, Lily. You're trying every nail polish. I know. Why pick one color when you can have all of them? Y'all, I had a bot in my comments section, and it was like, wow, you are so beautiful. And I was feeling a little more spicy than normal. And so I responded with, yes, I know. Or, yes, I am, or something. Because I've had that exact bot message on so many videos for the past, like, 12 years. It's ridiculous. Infinity says, here's a quote I heard from a game. Do you remember every song you've ever heard? No. Case in point, when people ask me what song they're playing on Sunday morning at church, whoo, dunno. Ember says, nice quote, Infinity, and I do not. Haha, I'm not alone. This is an interesting song. Yeah, nah. One of these days, I'd like to sort these nail polishes further into, like, which ones are loose and which ones are thick and opaque. Or I guess not loose, but, like, I don't know. Difficult to apply versus easy. But I think today it'll be just good enough if I can figure out which colors I want to go where. Ugh. Got another one of the dried out ones. Jay says I should try to pick up my ukulele again and try to write a song soon. That would be cool. Always down to hear your music. Oh yeah, weren't you asking about, like, PNG tubers the other day? Shadow, if you're still in chat, you want to talk about PNG tubers? I say the other day. It was like a whole month ago. One of my middle school students back in the day was like, you know, when you say the other day or the other week, I always think it's like 1 or 2 days. But I'm realizing with you, it's anywhere from yesterday to 3 years from today. And that was really hard to come to terms with. Relaxing says, I wonder how people know their new friends' boundaries. Like, every friend has different boundaries at different scenarios. You figure it out. Most people adhere to a similar rule set. Like, try not to trauma dump on people. That's kind of rude. Don't be an emotional vampire. That's kind of rude. Show interest in how people are doing and let them lead the conversation. And over time, you kind of figure it out. Inevitably, you'll make mistakes. Heavens knows I've made so many mistakes over the years. I have a certain set of rules for this community, and I don't even keep to it myself sometimes. You just figure it out. And you find the people who are willing to understand yours and call you out if you don't respect theirs, but still are up for community with you. Infinity says, another Star of Providence quote, a peace for all those we could save and those we couldn't. That's a good one. Sparkly, sparkly, sparkly. Sparkly? Maybe. Oh, I think this is actually not sparkly. Oh, this is gross. Same as its twin. Alright, well. After streaming for how long? Hour and a half. I have organized one drawer into sparkly versus not sparkly. And we've chatted. I think I got about 30 minutes left in me. Let's put the sparklies in here, and what I think might be the non-sparklies at the end of the one I just organized. I love watching movies and series, but I don't want to because of maladaptive dreaming so much and how I feel afterwards. Yeah, I can get obsessive over shows, not in the same way. Obviously, I don't have maladaptive daydreaming because I've said as much on streams before, but sometimes I don't do things because I know my obsessive tendencies with it will not serve me. Speaking of things, I've been watching a lot of a new, I guess, show on YouTube. It's not an actual, like, TV show, but it's a YouTuber, and she has a series that she does where she goes to people's houses and helps them declutter, and it's been really lovely just, like, having that as a co-working vibe with me when I need to do my work and, like, be productive, but I know a puzzle will distract me. This person's name is April with the Space Making Method. I think the YouTube channel is something like Space Makers or something. And she's from South Korea, or she lives in South Korea. And then, I just really love the calm vibes she brings to each home and how she genuinely cares about each client. Like, she wants each person to find a little space of calm and peace after every single decluttering session, but she doesn't make it like, you know, we have to do things a certain way. She listens to each person and, like, adjusts things based on what works for them, you know? I really appreciate her style, because her videos are like an hour long each, and it's so nice to just have two people figuring stuff out while I'm also trying to figure stuff out. So I don't know if anybody else has a lot of decluttering in their life to do, like me, but highly recommend April with the Space Maker Method. Eeh. Well, I gotta say, the sparkly drawer is significantly heavier and fuller than the not sparkly drawer, which says a lot about me. Relaxing says its name is Space Maker Method. I found one channel. There we go. Space Maker Method. And it's April, and she's really cool. Anyways, I don't think I would go on that channel as like a client, even though I definitely could qualify. I don't necessarily need somebody like physically there with me making every decision with me. I just need somebody to keep me company while I do it. And YouTube videos are close enough for me. Oh, let me show you guys. This is the sparkly drawer. All just sparkly nail polishes. And it fits. It fit. And this is my non-sparkly drawer. So we're gonna try and color code this one. We're gonna see. We're gonna see if we can do it. Okay. Infinity says the Star of Providence quotes are Scully's quotes on the themes Vanishing Point and Reminiscence, respectively. Scully has a quote for every theme in the jukebox. That's cool. How does that even work? I'm very confused. We have like orange, yellow, pinks. Oh, we about to get down with the color coordination rules. Oh, this is about to get so heated in here. We are going to be discussing how... Mercy. Oh, gosh. Relaxing says, I wonder how people with long nails maintain their nail hygiene. Probably carefully. Probably carefully. Jay says, I'm thinking of putting a bunch of quotes I like in a compilation or something. That would be cool. That would definitely be cool. I really like this color foil color. It is not at all matte, though. Sorry, Matt. Infinity says, you have a jukebox in the main hub that lets you play the music from the game. After you pick a track to play, you can talk to Scully in the hub and you'll get a theme-specific quote. Ooh. Nice. Okay, I know it's not Scully from Monsters Inc., but I'm imagining Scully from Monsters Inc. And I just... Wouldn't it be fun if Scully from Monsters Inc. was just your MC for every game? I think that would be fun. Okay. I'm having trouble identifying how to color coordinate these colors. Can I even fit it with them like standing straight up? Because some of these, I don't know if you can tell, but they stand up taller than the actual like drawer. So I guess question number one, does it even fit? It does not. Okay. So, to answer the question I posed at the beginning of the stream before everything went haywire, guess we're not color coding them. We are style coding them. Jay says, the more music you discover, the happier you'll be. Haley Williams. That's cool. Infinity says, here's another one. Sounds like your funeral. Scully's comment on Gnosis. Theme of a super difficult boss that has to be fought at the end of a boss rush. Ooh. Yeah, that would be my funeral. I don't do good with boss fights. The boss has chains that restrict your movement, the ability to stop time, and a phase with 5 attack patterns at once. Gross. I do not want to meet that boss. Very enthusiastic rainbow. With some dog hairs. I don't know if you can tell. But we've got some dog hairs attached to my fingers. Because of the wet polish. And the fact that I have dogs. So dog hairs everywhere in this house. I really like my thumb's metallic pink color. I like the concept of the green, but in reality it didn't work out. It just kind of like faded away, which was disappointing. The boss is also based on one of Dev's avatars. Avatar? The Last Airbender? Oh my goodness. Who got... I said, who got Aang out of the iceberg? Somebody said something at the beginning of stream, and now I am curious. Geometry Dash. Can I play Geometry Dash? I believe Aang can save the world. Just had to quote that there. Yes. Infinity says, I mean the boss is wielding 7 elemental powers over the fight. Gross, I don't want it, please. No, I don't want to fight the boss. I don't want to fight. No, please no, anything but that. Well, close to anything but that. What? There we go. Hee hee. Relaxing says, imagine a world where people live life peacefully, no violence, just living. Impossible. I would start a fight. Can I... I'm gonna try study break. And then I think if we do this... Oh, it just covers my face. That's okay. We're gonna try. We're gonna try some Geometry Dash. As somebody said too. I don't actually remember how to play. Is this WASD? Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. That's so loud. For what? For what? Why does it have to be so loud? I'm so sorry. I don't know what got into it. Is that better? No, it's not. You know what? I don't need music. I'm sure it's fine. Yeah, new vest, 3%. That's okay. New vest, 6%. Let's go. I remember that the music was an important part to, like, timing things. Wow, this is messing with my brain. I don't like it. I don't know what it is, but it's really hard to process this. This is gonna give me a migraine. New best! 59%. Yeah, no, I cannot do that. I can't do that. That was... Oh, that was a lot. Chat is blurry right now. Amber says I would also start a fight. Geometry Dash, haven't played that in a minute. Loud, but it's okay. I forgot how loud it is. Amber says, woo, new best, 6%. Infinity says you might as well be fighting Aang in the Avatar state. Lightning bending, necromancy, future sight, chronomancy, and a further power-up from a god of chaos as a bullet hell boss. Oh, dang. Music here was loud, so it makes sense to turn it off. It's messing with your brain type of game, and the music is known for helping with timing. It also has a lot of colors and movement, so fair. Tanks. Ooh, rip off Minecraft? I'm sure that'll be fine. No, I don't want to. Watch out. It might be really loud. It's free. You're an idiot and victim of piracy. Stop playing yourself. Nah. I don't want to download things, so we're not going to. Steel brain rots? I'm so confused right now. Infinity says Mojang approaches. Any recommendations, y'all? Santa Run, I'm sure that's fine. Oh, it's downloading a file. I'm sure that's fine. Maxine says, did you play Sky? Nope. Oh. This is Subway Runners. This is just Subway Runners, but holiday season. Oh my goodness. I'm playing Subway. So, I'm just, yeah. Guys, do you feel more attentive now that I'm playing Subway Surfers? But with Santa? Does this make you feel like you can focus better? I'm so confused right now. Huh. Well, we just plowed through a train. I'm sure that's fine. Well, that's all right then. Oh, there goes Santa. Sorry, Santa. Sure. Shadow says, you're that desperate for viewer attention? I am. I don't want to see Santa die again, though. Let's do jumping games. Continue running? Yes, from my problems. Sure. Hill climb racing. This was my jam as a kid. Oh my gosh. This and something to do with, like, animals. Zeeb. Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. Stuart. I've gotten sucked back into the Subway Surfer. Oh no. I'm sure it's fine. Haha. I'm this desperate for viewer retention. Do you feel retained? Does your attention feel like it's mine? Haha. I know how to do things. Oh, I'm sure he's fine. I'm sure he's fine. He's just short. Shadow says, well, no more Christmas. Ember says, hey, me too. It frustrated me, but still had fun. Shadow says, continue running? Yeah, for my problems. Ember says, played it again not too long ago, and I could feel the kid frustration come back. My attention feels retained, yes. Good, good. 0 times neck flip. That's promising. Wacky flip. Ooh, Among Us. Tunnel ball. Let's do this. Do we want to invite friends? Hey, I'm not sure that this isn't stealing my data and stuff. But you're welcome to play with me. And be Lily. Let's do blue. Do you feel retained? Your attention is mine. Infinity says, my attention is taken by the boss fight I mentioned, unfortunately. Yeah, so if you want to join, feel free to. I'm not sure that I can promise that it'll not steal things, but you're welcome to join. Who the heck are you? Why are you talking to me? I don't want to talk to you. Oh, you can't join. What if I just... What's this button do? There's a wall there. Who was ejected? Was that me? I don't know. Why was I not ejected? I very obviously was there. I don't know how to play this game with this. Oh, why are you going this way? Can I follow you? I think I'm playing with just random characters. How do I... Oh, that's the button. I'm pretty sure Okay. I've killed in front of, like, 5 people. I don't think they were real. Infinity says if you have Steam set up, you could play Copy Kitty's free demo on Steam. I don't know. I don't think that was real. Yeah, I don't think so either. I killed in front of like 5 people, and they only voted me out the last time. Do I have Steam? Yes. Do I know how to use Steam? No. I don't remember. Is it this? I think it's my... I think I had a Steam when I was Millie. So... I have like 10 emails and passwords to go through. Hey, I remembered my username and password. What are the likes of that, guys? It's been years and I had a literal concussion. Yo. Friends. Do I have friends? I have no friends. I'm gonna go in Discord and send it to 2 people. Okay. Infinity says, imagine a social deduction game where it could also randomly have no evil players, so you also have to be careful not to let your paranoia make you believe there is a threat when there is none. I think somebody did a whole thing about that. If you're logged in, then just go to Featured, search the game you're looking for, enter its page, and download the demo. Okay. Copy Kitty. Free. Download? I don't know that I have Steam installed. Do I have the space to download Steam? It's iffy. I do. Okay. Okay. Let me just make sure I don't have it. I have Streamlabs, but not Steam Labs. Yes. English, please. Okay. Guys, look, I'm getting Steam after you guys have told me to get it for years. Are you proud of me? Can you imagine if that game... Sorry, I'm still thinking about that game of Among Us. Can Can you imagine if people really were, like, in that game playing with me, and it just kept on ejecting the wrong person? Like, how infuriated do you think those people would be? Just curious. Infinity says, I'm proud. Thanks! What if I just... I have to email it again. There we go. Now I can exit out of there. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Okay. So, store. Now I'm gonna do copy kitty. Free demo. Download. Sure, why not? It's like, this game doesn't seem to have important things that seem relevant to you. Of course it doesn't. I've never played anything on Steam before. I have 0 friends on Steam, because I don't know how to use it. I have an account alert. Oh my gosh. I don't know what Steam PvP Fest is. Ooh, typing games? I love me a good typing game. Do we want to do a typing game? I can do a typing game. I just spelled it gay. Typing gay. That's not what I meant. Yay! Type Racer. Hee. Okay. Bloody break. Huh. Trying to get it so that I can play, the typing games on here. Enter a typing race. F11. Okay. 4, 3, 2, 1. Aha! I'm a random guest and I won! 95 words per minute. I can do better. I can do better. I'm just wondering if I can, like, make it bigger for you guys. There we go. Race again. I'm not proud. I was wrong. And the truth is hard to take. I felt sure we had enough, but our love went overboard. Lifeboat lies lost at sea. I've been trying to reach your shore. Waves of doubt keep drowning me. I got 4th place. Ging Ging Game Kremlin did much better than me. Infinity says, by the way, Deltarune also has a free demo on Steam. Cool. Okay. Liberi? I think this is Copy Kitty? We're gonna try. ShadowTalon! Accept. Okay. Copy Kitty. You can't see Copy Kitty. It's very loud. It's very loud. I'm sorry. Why is it so loud? I don't like it. Okay. Yeah. Ember says, I'll never get tired of hearing the Outer Wilds soundtrack. So beautiful. And then I ruined it with Copy Kitty soundtrack. My bad. Not ruined, but different. It's all good. Thank goodness YouTube streams have a volume control button. Yes. What if I just do a gaming stream? And then instead of stream for Steam, so can you see that now? Okay, I think so. Sorry for the flippy flips. Oh, it's from my uncle. He told me you should play it right away. Have fun. Yeah, I'm gonna kick that door closed. Flux. Wait, Flux? Isn't this a military training program? What kind of a dome present is that? Oh, glitches. If you have flashing issues, don't watch this. I'm realizing this is not good. Alright? Just don't watch this if you have flashy issues. Just want to make sure that the audio is catching that right. If you struggle with flashing lights and all sorts of things, like me, beware. Do not watch this. Alright? I will announce when I'm done with it. I promise. Also, thanks for the flash warning. You're welcome. Huh, this style is interesting. It is. Let me pause Outer Wilds. Whoa, I take that back. This is cool. Yeah, so, flash warning, commencing now for everything, because I don't know. I don't know what's about to happen. I've seen a lot of Copy Kitty, and I know there's some flashing, but I don't know. I don't know. Quite nice, isn't it? I created this to help you practice your abilities. My powers? All I do is copy other people, though. I know you're dissatisfied with your abilities, but if you practice, you'll be surprised at what you can do. Jump with the Z key. Oh. Shoot with the X key in any direction. Defeated enemies drop glowing spheres. Touch one to copy that enemy's weapon. Kick with the A key. How do I move? Oh, I need to kick it. That's not fair. I'm probably gonna die. That's why I invented keyboard smash. Use the S key to switch between weapons. Okay. Press the Z key in the air to jump again. Yeah, I'm gonna die. Why is that key there? When you have at least 2 basic weapons, press the C key to fire your super shot. This combines every weapon you're holding into one powerful new ability. Shadow says, so Kitty is trans, because she can double jump? Amber says, I think technically keyboard smash was invented in the 80s during arcade gaming, although it wasn't called that, obviously. It was button mashing, then keyboards came along and... Oh. You meant in the game. Infinity says you can hold jump to jump higher. This isn't explained in game because it's a very common mechanic in platformers. Thank you for understanding. I stupid. I stupid sometimes. This combines every weapon you're holding into one powerful new ability. This is usually better than using basic weapons on their own. Don't be afraid to mix them. I'm the reason... Where is it? There we go. I'm the reason warnings were made. Oh. I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. I want all of them. Can I not have all of them? Oh, wait. Oh, hey. I can... I don't know. I don't know how to get through. I don't think that's causing any damage. Only 3, sadly, but all 3 are fused with your combined attack. Keyboard smash and button smashing describe 2 different actions. Button mashing is just spamming buttons very quickly. Keyboard smash is breaking your keyboard in anger. Now you can hold everything. Whoa! Oh, that's how. Already forgot. Yeah. Ah ha ha. I'm just... That's better. Yeah, definitely not flash friendly. Hee hee! You can turn down the flashes in settings. I did. Are you Oh. Are you sure this will help? I'm still just copying stuff. Meow. Heroes always have their own powers. So you don't feel like copying is unique? You're rather creative with it, though. According to my calculations, you can make up to the sum of 3 on the top, and k equals 1 times the sum of 10 carbon to the power of potassium plus 10 weapons by copying the enemies in the simulation alone. That's just a number, and I don't even know what it means, you nerd. It means that I'm very confident in your abilities. Now go, discover that for yourself, too. Good luck! Ugh. I'm just a bunch of 0s and 1s. Copy kitty. You can aim diagonally. Huh. I'm sure I'll do fine. I keep on forgetting how to jump. Sure, it's fine. What if I just run away? Rainbows! Hey, I almost got 100 damage taken. That's great, right? Right? How many hits did I have? I have no clue. Well, that was fun. Thanks for playing with me. And by playing, I mean watching me fail. That was pretty fun, I guess. Y'all, if you're a Flash not friendly, if you need to stay away from flashies, flashes are over. Infinity says you have 100 health total, so you're one hit away from defeat. You know, that's better than I thought I would do. I thought I wouldn't actually do it. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. It's 9 o'clock where I am. I hope you get some good rest. Ember says, thanks for turning this stream into a gaming stream at the end. Thanks for being up for the flippy flop. I need a good nap after this. I don't think my brain is... my brain is not ready for video games yet. Maybe it'll be ready for Minecraft, though, because those are new games, right? I don't know. That was a lot, though. Thanks for hanging. You didn't fail. You beat what you attempted first try. Thanks. My brain, you know when you make a gingerbread house and you need like exorbitant amounts of the icing to hold it together, but it just won't come out. And then when it does, it doesn't actually hold the things together because it's so glompy. That's what I feel like my brain is right now. Ember says, thanks for the stream in general. Have a good week, y'all, and be well out there. Yes. Everybody, feel better if you're not feeling well. Take care of yourselves. Have a good rest. Take care. Jay says, I'm back. Welcome back. You had a good time to not be around because I know you don't do flashes, and that was a very flashy game. It was a very intense game. Yeah, that was interesting. I didn't die. I don't think. Good night, everyone. Good night. Bye. Thanks for redeeming. Bye, Ember. For starting the bye train. Bye. Welcome back, Jay. Have a good night. Yeah, welcome back. Okay, bye. Bye. Oh my gosh. It is impressive. Bye. It's impressive how quickly my brain can just crash playing video games. Mercy. We got 3 people saying bye, 3 people who said bye. Have a good one. Okay. Bye, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Take care of yourselves. Be safe. Bye. Bye.